Hello, good people. So, I recently posted a video specifically speaking to psychology, industrial psychology, sociology, and philosophy graduates, even those who did anthropology, even the research graduates, saying that please don't sleep on yourself because you've got a place in UX and UI design as a career. So this diagram really illustrates the point that I wanted to articulate that day. So when you look at it, it truly shows you how multidisciplinary UX and UI design as a career is. So you'll see different academic disciplines, but before that, this is not my image. I'll only edit these two things, and I forgot to basically credit or reference. Yeah, but I think it's important to basically say it's not mine. So, but it really communicates what I needed to show you. So you see that economics is part of the list. Psychology, cognitive psychology, people who did neuropsychology or neuroscience, informatics, engineering, computer science, software engineering, anthropology, sociology, philosophy. And I mean, you can't think about like economics without linking it to disciplines like human resource management. I mean, in a nutshell, simply because UX and UI design is about experience. Ultimately, you are building digital products, but ultimately, you are more concerned about the experience that people will have when they interact with these products. So, more behavioral science spaces play a critical role in terms of, I don't want to say controlling, but in terms of feeding into the experience in a way. And I think I'm trying to explain this in a very simple way. And I hope that you are getting where I'm going with it. But the next slide might be a lot simpler. So there is graphic design from like more of like a creative space. You can see there's already graphic design, which is mostly linked to UX and UI design work. There's product design. You see artist, industrial design, film as well. And down there, I'm sure you might have heard of human factors, human computer interaction, cognitive engineering, and cognitive economics, information systems, and etc. So you can see already that a host of disciplines basically come together to make up this discipline or career. And let me go to the next slide just to give you, this again is not my diagram, but I think it explains, or at least it has attributes that are quite critical for individuals that are not within the UX and UI design space. It makes it easier for you to understand what this discipline or career concerns itself with. There is at the heart of it like usability and goals. So essentially, your job is ensuring that products and platforms that people actually interact with are usable. It needs to function as intended, and users should be able to accomplish their goals. I'm going to try and not use the word users here, but speak about human beings, that people who would like to interact with solutions or digital products can essentially accomplish their goals. You want to go to an ATM, you should be able to engage with an ATM and get the money if that's what you wanted to do. And that's a perfect example of a platform that used to be extremely intimidating back in the days. And I still think that we still have a long way to go in terms of humanizing platforms like that, and also simplifying them and ensuring that they are learnable, and the learnability on those platforms is quite high. I think depending on where you are in the world, they are still a little bit intimidating to certain groups of individuals or certain groups in communities. And of course, you want to make those platforms to be safe to use, to be effective and efficient to use. And there needs to be a good sense of utility from those platforms. They should be easy to learn, like I mentioned, easy to remember. And then there are other things on the side which I think balance out the experience. A concept of fun entertainment. I'm sure some of you might have heard of gamification. Using platforms should feel satisfying. It should be enjoyable, rewarding, emotionally fulfilling, supportive of creativity. You don't want people to basically zone out when they are using your platform, and they should be aesthetically pleasing, and that's where we are most categorized as designers, that we make aesthetically pleasing things, pretty pictures. But we know design is a lot more strategic than that. Should be motivating. People should want to come back to the platform to use it. The platform itself should not be driving people away. That's not the type of motivation you want, unless you built it for that. Should be helpful. So in a nutshell, some of these things, I hope that they sort of like show you that maybe you belong in this space, or you could find a footing, you could find yourself based on what you studied. But this is what the entire space of design pretty much consists of. And I did not go into like the technical aspects of it because I wanted to make it simple for someone that's not in design. I will be dropping nibbles of videos like this so that you get a little bit of education around what is UX and UI design. And some videos might be a lot more technical and speak to the rigor of the platforms that we need to build and these solutions. There are complex things, but ultimately, guys, we are trying to render experiences through digital platforms. We are trying to make money again from those platforms, and if you want people to check out on your platform, it better be easy. It better enable them to check out. It better support the goals that they'd like to accomplish when they come to the platform. That's it for now. Sharp.